Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. Quick shout out to my newest patron, Jordan R. Thank you for choosing to support the channel. First up, 1 week from today, Elon will be speaking at the All In Summit, having a fireside chat. This event taking place in Miami, May 15th through the 17th. Elon is scheduled May 16th at 2 p.m. As far as attendance goes, this event is sold out. All 700 tickets have been allocated. There is a wait list, but tickets are $7,500. Hopefully these events make it online. Along similar lines, starting today, we have a 4-day event taking place in London, all based on the future of the car, in which Elon is set to be a keynote speaker. According to the schedule, Elon is set to speak tomorrow on Tuesday. There will be a quick 15-minute chat with JB Straubel, which will directly be followed up with a 45-minute interview with Elon. And they have Elon set to talk about Tesla becoming the largest car maker on Earth. Right now, they're only offering a digital pass for all 4 days, which is $315, but no option to just buy a pass for Tuesday. I'm not sure how they plan to distribute these videos after the fact, if at all. Today, we had many people talking about Apple CarPlay in a Tesla. However, just to be clear, this is not official. It's just a third-party hack, and I think for most people, it will be a little too involved. With that said, I will include the GitHub documentation below in case you're interested in exploring it. Talks between Tesla and Indonesia when it comes to nickel are still ongoing, as we have the Indonesian president set to come to the States this week, and a meeting with Elon is going to be arranged, while right now, reportedly, Tesla representatives are in Indonesia and they like what they're seeing. Indonesia's coordinating minister said of the Tesla reps, they will visit Morowali. They're very satisfied with the data they have received so far. If you're wondering why this is a big deal, it's because of this. As of 2021, Indonesia was tied with Australia for the most nickel reserves of anywhere on the globe. So with Indonesia really wanting to develop a domestic supply chain for nickel and Tesla really needing that nickel for their higher range products, this is definitely something to watch and hopefully a deal will get done. And continuing with the theme of Elon's wild schedule, either today or next week on Monday, it wasn't clear by this Reuters article, EU industry chief Thierry Breton is set to meet with Elon to talk about free speech, technology, and supply chain issues. Here we have Tesla China effectively hiring influencers to work on college campuses to do recruiting. KOLs are simply key opinion leaders. And this is probably a rough translation, but it had me chuckling anyway. Many people's feelings for Tesla, it can no longer be described simply by love. There are various reasons. Recognition of the concept of environmental protection and enthusiasm, or is it the strange awakening of technology geeks? But one interesting phenomena is many people will mention the word technology. Just a small example of Tesla continually looking for the top talent here in China. Last night, we got a new Tesla note from Morgan Stanley. They said, re-architecting the global renewable energy infrastructure and supply chain will require as much as 20 to 40 terawatt hours of battery capacity and $10 to $20 trillion of accumulated capex spend through 2040. We believe names exposed to this capex cycle can drive powerful alpha in your portfolio. And then we have interesting points like this. Their fiscal year 2030 volume has increased by 90,000 units for whatever reason. This is only 43% of Tesla's internal targets of 20 million cars a year by 2030. They expect fiscal year 2022 gross margin X credits to be lowered to 26.8%. And remember, Tesla started off this year in Q1 with this figure at 30%. But here's an issue. They say Tesla is not cheap based on multiples being higher than Ferrari. Well, Tesla's addressable market dwarfs Ferrari's. It honestly feels like comparing Apple to a mom and pop repair shop if you look through the lens of addressable market. They also say, in fact, we believe level 4 or 5 autonomy at scale is well over a decade away. It will come, folks, but it's too darn difficult. Now, in my opinion, that's not really great professional analysis. And lastly, they say, we continue to believe Tesla's long-term future in China is highly uncertain. There's been plenty of government support for Tesla, not only in building Giga Shanghai, but allowing Tesla to own it wholly. The government going out of its way to help Tesla reopen after COVID, Tesla feeling confident enough to expand in Shanghai, Elon playing nice publicly in the midst of the shutdown. So like I said, all evidence I can see for now shows minimal risk for Tesla in China. In case you see this report, some things are being lost in translation when they're talking about this premium. They're actually talking about increasing subsidy subsidies for buying EVs, so this is a good thing. So talking about cars with a max price of 40,000 euros, they're talking about bumping the subsidy from 6,000 euros up to 10,800. And for more expensive vehicles up to 60,000 euros, they're talking about a new subsidy of 8,400 instead of 5,000 euros. So listen to this, over just the last few months, the Electrified community has collectively invested over $600,000 onto the Masterworks platform into the fine art market via fractional share ownership. Masterworks is the sponsor of today's video, and they've been blown away by the response of our community. To those of you not yet a part of this group, here's part of why I'm such a big fan of Masterworks. We're in the middle of unprecedented opportunity to grow our wealth, and a huge portion of that is in the fintech space. It's anticipated to grow by 20% over the next 4 years, eclipsing $305 billion, which is part of why JP Morgan just said this: alternative investments are no longer optional. No worries, this is a different division than JP Morgan's Tesla analysts. 85% of wealth managers are recommending investors follow the clues the ultra wealthy have been leaving for years, investing in unique assets to store and grow wealth. Masterwork lets us invest in multi-million-dollar works of art without needing millions of dollars ourselves. And look, past performance guarantees nothing, but each of the 3 paintings Masterworks has sold since 2020 have each returned over 30% net IRR to investors. You can use my link in the description below to skip the waitlist and join the other Electrified subscribers and get a little greedy while others are fearful. As I mentioned last week, it was being reported that the main bottleneck so far at Giga Berlin has been the paint shop, so this little anecdote of news would be a good sign. This report came out over the weekend. I'd imagine a lot of you have seen it by now. Basically, an employee effectively lied to get a position at Tesla. Then he downloaded some data about the Dojo project onto a personal computer, and Tesla wanted to get it back, but he provided a dummy laptop to try to get away with whatever he was doing. And as of May 2nd, this employee has quit. Now Tesla is suing him for essentially stealing trade secrets regarding Project Dojo. Alexander Yatskov was hired in January as a thermal engineer to help design cooling systems for the computer, but as I said, Tesla said he effectively lied about his qualifications to get the job. And Tesla said this is a case about illicit retention of trade secrets by an employee who, in a short time at Tesla, already demonstrated a track record of lying, and then lying again by providing a dummy device to try and cover his tracks. And look, not at all trying to defend this employee, as it definitely seems like there was some foul play and bad intent. However, the main issue here would be this employee actually disseminating these trade secrets to somebody else, and that will be the focus of this lawsuit for Tesla. From RBB24, starting today, Giga Berlin will be under inspection to ensure that all conditions have been met now that most of the facilities there are actually up and running. Actual operation at the factory can only be shut down if there are immediate dangers found. A lot of people were making much of this today. Toyota had a press release, and in the footnotes it said DC charging may not work on the all-wheel drive version of the new BZ4X when the temperature is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, to be fair, let's go back into the Tesla archives and we find this. The reason for these precautions is due to some electrochemical properties of batteries, where charging a battery at near freezing can actually permanently damage or even render your Tesla's lithium-ion battery completely useless. And back in the day, Tesla said to circumvent some of these limitations, owners can enable preconditioning that will actively warm the battery before charging. And this is from an early review of the BZ4X. Toyota has included battery temperature preconditioning. And further than that, the BZ4X does also have a heat pump system, although it might just be for the climate control and not actually for the battery. So obviously Tesla's battery technology and thermal management is going to be far superior to that of Toyota at this stage, but this right here might just be Toyota covering its tracks, kind of like how Tesla did in the early days. With this one, there has been some absurd reporting and disinformation. The story here, though, is Ford looking to sell 8 million shares of Rivian because, yes, the lockup period has expired. Before this sale, Ford owned around 102 million shares of Rivian, so Ford is only offloading around 8% of its stake in Rivian. And this right here is part of my problem with Twitter. You have these tweets with no context, no information. People will like it, retweet it, and then carry this data and use it in terribly wrong ways. So now thousands of people have seen this tweet and are probably thinking that Ford is losing $3 billion. This tweet has to be talking about paper losses, but once again, these shares were locked up, so Ford could not have sold prior when Rivian stock was higher. So going back to the actual data for this Ford purchase of Rivian stock originally, they bought $820 million worth of stock, over 102 million shares, effectively around in the neighborhood of $8 per share. And back to today, JP Morgan Chase also plans to sell a Rivian share block of between 13 and 15 million shares for an unknown seller, but both blocks of stocks are priced at $26.90 per share. So actually, when we consider around an $8 per share purchase price selling at close to 27, Ford effectively tripling its investment. Now, yes, they definitely missed selling at much higher prices, but remember, they couldn't because of the share lockup. And what most people aren't really talking about is the main reason Ford made this investment wasn't just to make money, it was to establish a partnership with Rivian to make EVs together, which we know now they are no longer doing. And Ford selling 8 million shares at around $27 per share will free up around $215 million in capital for Ford. They'll have to take out taxes, but then they can use the rest to hopefully invest in electrification. And a quick anecdote, it looks like Ford is setting aside 20% of the new F-150 Lightning production to be for commercial buyers. So basically 1 in every 5 F-150 Lightnings produced will be for commercial buyers, their fleet business. And the latest report has Ford producing around 1,000 F-150 Lightnings per week. That'll do it for today. Don't forget, check out Masterworks, link below. Please like the video if you did. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.